Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. Seth went on a diatribe talking about how he's the one responsible for guys like Roman Reigns, and that the only reason that CM Punk came back was because WWE wanted to milk Rollins' hate for him, and Cody Rhodes would have never been back if it wasn't for Seth Rollins. There would have been nobody in the arena if it wasn't for Seth Rollins.
There's people in that building in spite of Seth Rollins at this point. Honest to God, I don't know. It feels boring to me to even talk about how fucking not interested I am in this at all. Like you said earlier, you got Braun, who's like, I'm a babyface. I'm starting to really get over. I'm really doing my thing. And they're like, no, turn him heel for fucking Seth. And it's like, oh, okay, that's a great idea. Then you have Heyman, who's arguably one of the greatest talkers of all time, and he's standing there smiling.
He always has been.
It's like, okay, what was the point of this then?
Paul Heyman literally feels like they saddled him with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. So it's Seth Rollins, and then it's Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. That's the group. So Seth Rollins doesn't need no Paul Heyman to talk for him, because Seth can do enough talking on his own. But he helps guys like Braun Breaker, who have conveniently forgotten how to speak and now just barks and growls at every mention of his name. And then Bronson Reed, who becomes soft-spoken unless he's screaming. It's like there's only 2 volumes on the guy. Off or yelling. That's really it.
And what's so wildly ineffective about this thing, just now we're like, what, a month and a half, 2 months, not even into this whole turn and the formation of this group. What's the win here for the Bronze? What's the win for them? Are they getting anything really out of it? It doesn't seem like.
I think so. Honestly, I think Braun Breaker's kind of regressed a little bit. Now,
yes,
Bronson Reed obviously needs Paul Heyman. I do believe that. I do believe that Bronson Reed can only gain from being associated with Paul Heyman. Not with Seth, though. Why the fuck does Bronson Reed need to? Bronson Reed could eat fucking Seth. You know, like, it's just,
and that's weird, and that's a weird thing, too, is you have 2 guys there that he should be kind of pointing out the fact that he's neutralizing these guys. And I don't know, I've never heard commentators put that over or mention it. But shouldn't this kind of be like, look at Seth Rollins, he's talking about wanting to be the future. Meanwhile, he's buying up the competition. He's buying up the future. He's saying, oh, I'm the visionary, I'm the next thing. And it's like, he bamboozled these 2 guys who, by the way, both of them, independently of him or anything, when they were first coming in, were they like guys that should have been smooth talked? Were they guys that wanted to be in a group? Really? I mean, like, I get it, like, Bronson kind of worked his way into the whole thing with when they went against the fucking Bloodline and all that shit and blah, blah, blah. But they just both seem like guys, like, Bronson, I'm a fucking dog and I'm a badass. And it's just like, yeah, but what if we make you a deal to hang out with your friend? Like, it just doesn't make fucking sense.
Breaker doesn't make any sense at all, because he was that standalone athlete. He was that standalone guy. He was the vision of the Steiners. He was that perfect killer. He was his own man. And he gave up his identity to join with Seth. Bronson Reed, at least, coming back off of injury, his brain could have changed. He could have had different ideas, whatever. Like that, but it's fair enough. But the problem that I have with Bronson Reed is, at least the way it used to be, if you had a stable and the smallest guy in the stable was the leader of the stable, it was because he was legitimately smarter than everyone else. He made up for it with brains or by being more underhanded than everybody else. Seth hasn't done anything on that level. He's literally just the figurehead because he's Seth Rollins. Has he done anything that was particularly dastardly? No. Has he done anything clever? No. He just goes out there and he fucking waves his arms around like he's a fucking maestro to the lemmings out in the audience, and then talks about how great he is. There is no reason for Seth to have a group, let alone anybody else, especially the younger generation of future athletes, believing anything that he says. The storyline makes no sense. And Paul Heyman giving him fucking hard eyes everywhere. What for? It doesn't even make sense. At least with Roman Reigns, Roman had the fucking pedigree. He was always winning, even despite himself. There were a lot of positives behind Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar was a human freak of fucking nature. Made sense to get behind Brock Lesnar. Why Seth?
Why? And by the way, even with Punk, when they were like, "Oh, he was Punk," at the time you're going,
"Oh, we're
least." Yes, you're telling the story. They were friends. You can go back to OVW. When I was at my low point, you fucking blah, blah, blah. When I was at my low point, you blah, 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 blah. And now Seth, like you said, he's just kind of there. And he's doing a lot of just self-sucking. And it's not helping anybody else at all. It's just not. Like, you took Braun, you neutralized him, Breaker, that is, of course. The guy was getting over, and there's no vibe whatsoever. There's no feeling of, and I'm sure somebody will say, "Oh, give it time. It'll get there. It'll get there." But there's no feeling of, like...
It shouldn't have to get there. We should have seen the reasons why these guys formed together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I shouldn't have to have a backstory because you guys can't figure out a reason why this shit exists, and then push it out there for fucking 3 months, and just, they're together because reasons.
Right, you have 4 people involved in this. Yet again, it's another boring, endless Seth Rollins self-suck fest, like I said. And it just stinks of this is what Triple H would do if he could still wrestle.
Oh, yeah,
This is exactly who he would be if he was given the choice. You know what I mean? Like,
this is Evolution .5. That's what this is.
Yeah, except nobody's really getting anything out of it.
Right.
That's the point. It's like, at least in the silliness of Evolution, you made a star in Batista. You made a big star, obviously, in Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Does anybody...
They even helped elevate that young talent, Ric Flair, a little bit, too.
Yeah, right. That guy was really... He's like...
Actually...
Who's this young fella?
To be fair to Ric Flair, during the Evolution days, it always felt like here was the old man who doubted himself and then went out there and had good matches here and there. You know,
yes.
and
he's got these young guys to take the heat in matches and help prop him up. Yeah, there's
like, it made sense. It fucking made sense. And the reason they were behind Triple H, he was fucking the boss. The boss's daughter is a wife.
Right. Oh, well, I mean, who else is going to help us? You know what I mean? Who's a better person for us to suck up to? There's no reason for these guys to suck up to Seth. None. He makes them no promises.
Right. Well, that's the thing, too, is if he was a smarter guy or he got them gold, something, it'd be like, oh, okay, well, Seth is good for something. Nothing. The only thing that's changed in the last 3 months of Seth Rollins is he stopped dressing like a dipshit.
Style and substance in the GMC Sierra.
That's it.
That's really... No, by the way, like, this doesn't even have to be grandiose promises, too. Like, it doesn't have to be like, I'm going to make you both future world champions. Like, how does he not even just look at Braun Breaker and be like, hey, you were the Intercontinental Champion, what, twice already? Yeah. We're going to get you that IC title back. We're going to get it back around your waist because that's where it that's where it belongs. And Bronson, you're an absolute animal. You're a beast. You're a killer. We got to get you to win King of the Ring. We got to get you to win Money in the Bank. It's like they're just showing up there to help this fucking chode, and there's no upside for them. You're not even promising them anything.
The only thing...
Heyman's not even promising them anything. Right. They get nothing out of it.
The only thing I fear is that they're going to try and pull a Judgment Day. Is that Seth is going to be ousted from the group. Paul Heyman will be the mastermind behind it. Because, I'm sorry, Braun Breaker, you're right. He had the IC belt a couple of times. Why is he not going for the world title? Well, because Seth is.
Because it's Seth. Because why would he ever want to be the champion? He's there to help Seth Rollins. Why? Why would he want to help him? There's no fucking reason at all. At all. I mean, at least with, like you said, the Roman Reigns thing, it's like, oh, this guy's really the top of the hill here. We know he's king shit here. We have to pretend that Seth Rollins is on the same level as, like, what Triple H was, or, like you said, like Roman was. We have to pretend that's the case. We all know that's not true.
They're all running a race for second place. This is the finish line. This is the end game. It has and always will be Seth frickin' Rollins.
And these other two guys have no problem with that whatsoever. These killers, these two giant killers.
He literally told them, as long as I'm here, you guys will never get a world title shot. Okay, great.
How do you not even have a shot of Braun giving him a side eye? Going, for real, motherfucker? Like,
Yeah, right.
you don't talk like that with me right over here? Like, but they do none of that. It's really lazy and really bad. And it's sad because, like I said, you got fucking Braun, who's ready to be over. You got Heyman, who, I mean, God only knows how many more years we got him on active television talking. Not even like some sort of old fat guy joke, but just the fact that, like, he's traveling. The guy travels a lot. He's an older man. Like, at some point, he's going to be like, fuck this. And we're wasting him with this bullshit. And then you have Bronson, who was getting over doing a splash. In 2024, he was getting over with a splash. And they're like, yeah, just hand him over to the douche turd over there. Let's run for another year.
And the Braun Strowman shit. I think the Braun Strowman shit helped a lot. The fucking flexing people off of automobiles.